Hello, welcome, and season's greetings. I say that because it is the 1st of December. Welcome to a pre-Christmas run-up edition of Sofa Broker with myself, Solly Strickland, and himself, Mr. Daniel McPeake.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
You looking forward to Xmas?
I am. I love it.
Are we allowed
Christmas.
to say Xmas?
Happy holidays, whatever it is that you want to say, however you feel you want to say it. For me, it's Christmas, and it's always been a very enjoyable time. I love it. I love the fact that, you meet people, you go out, have lots of drinks, people exchanging gifts.
Thanks for describing Christmas to people who don't know what Christmas is.
Have you brought any gifts you'd like to share?
No, but I think you've got a landmark birthday next week, so maybe you'll get a gift then.
You can fuck the fuck right off. No one knows when my birthday is, and that's the way I'd like
When we
to
do the next podcast...
Don't even say
sorry.
it's a lie.
I've just realised, when this goes out, you will be 50.
No, I won't be. That's not true. I'm in complete denial about it, and I think I could still get away for 45. Writing if you disagree.
So is it okay that this is a pre-recorded podcast?
Oh yeah, and it is a bit pre-recorded because we're just so busy. I mean, the thing
time
is,
of year.
we are so busy this time. We're busy all the time, but everyone says, "Oh, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy." There's elements throughout the year when you are just a bit more busier because we try and network more. And it's like if anyone says, "Do you want to come to a party?" It's like yes. It's like we do that. Danny Wallace thing.
Yes, man.
Just say yes because you don't know what's happening, and it's a great time just to interact. You said before, everyone's a bit more relaxed. You're half a bottle of whiskey into any conversation at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's just...
Welcome to December.
it's just a nicer place. Yeah, I mean, that is how you find it, right? You like... Well, you do like it secretly. Come the 24th?
I do. I've got to say, now that I've got kids, yes. But I always used to find it a little bit dreary back in the day.
You can't say that. What do you mean you find it a little bit... Look at you. Is it because you got a rally burner when you was a kid? Is it because you got a motorbike?
Can I just congratulate you on the best forwarding of an Instagram post so far this year when you sent me the old grifter advert from 1982 maybe?
I wonder how many people out there watching this remember the grifter and the Boxster.
In fact, as it's coming up to Christmas, if anyone here had a grifter, please just send us a message and say yes. And if you've got a picture of it, there's a pint on me.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Now it has almost been a year. I don't suppose that, your mate William has ever got back. Stan, have we had anything back from Prince William?
No, but have you noticed? He's copied me. Guy's slightly losing his hair, now growing a beard. So there's, I'm getting through.
You're becoming part of it. You're becoming part of the flow.
Something's algorithmically, he understands there's a connection.
What do you tend to do when you're coming into this time of the year in sales or real estate?
Yeah.
What do you tend to do? What goes on that you think is is important for you?
I tell you what I try not to do as an independent.
What do you try to do? Was the question.
What I try to do is not panic.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just swiveling it around a little bit because it's very easy for your independent agent to look at December and go, Christ, it's all shut down and there's no salary dropping on. How many days are there in December? 30?
Lots.
31st?
There's lots. Yeah, there's lots.
31. So yeah, there isn't that comfort blanket at the end of it all. So, that is something that is always at the back of my mind. But then I do think it is, like you mentioned, I think we mentioned last week or the week before, whenever it was, and what you mentioned just now, it is a good time to go out and get your business in front of people. People will, if they are capable of listening and taking it in.
Yeah, if they're
if they're vertical,
yeah.
talk to them.
If they're standing up, that's talk about business. You know what I mean? If they're wobbling a little bit, just ask them for more drink.
It's probably a good time to actually to connect with your younger broker, because your younger broker is less likely to be a Gen X madman like you or me.
They're going to be more able to start the next day as well.
They might be on the Lucky Saints as opposed to the Stella Artois.
I mean, it's a case now of when I drink now, I look like I'm ET with a cold the next morning, lying on the bed like, oh my God. You know, it takes me 2 or 3 days to get over it. Well, you've never had that problem, have you? Because they taught you to drink and eat them very young, didn't they? Was it like 14 or something?
Yeah, as soon as you got there, they'd just, fill a bath with, whiskey.
No, be honest. Didn't they have is it called a pub? Is there a posher way of saying?
Oh, we did have our own pub.
You had your own pub at 14?
No, 16.
16, and you used to play cricket by running
17.
back to the pub and drinking.
There was a good thing that we used to do, and I don't know if I've mentioned this on a podcast just to wind you up many, many years ago, but
You
the
probably
pub was
did.
it was a private pub for the school, and it was sort of licensed by the Queen.
It was the Queen's pub.
So it was one of the only pubs in the country where
Mega posh.
people who were 17 could legally drink or something. So upper sixth, you could drink, whether you were 17 or 18.
Hang on.
But the best thing about it was on a Saturday, God knows why, they would open this thing. It was called Tap, I think. They'd open it up at from midday till 1 o'clock for 1 hour on a Saturday. And of course, what are you going to do if you're 17 and you're allowed to drink? You go in and try and drink as many as you can in 1 hour.
How many did you manage? What was the best?
I was quite serious, boy. I was playing lots of sport.
How much did you manage?
I think I probably only did about 5. But there was
5 in an hour?
But
when you're 17?
Yeah, but there was a guy, and I can't remember his name, but I remember being there when he attempted this. He attempted to break the unofficial record, and I probably shouldn't mention his name. Well, he's left. Anyway, there was a sort of unofficial thing going around the school for decades. Who could do the most, and I was there when a guy, I think, broke the record, and I might have this wrong, but I think it's something crazy like 21 Newcastle brown ales.
Was his stomach pumped?
I can't remember. Is it possible? Maybe it's 11.
I mean, you lot start young, don't you? Your mum and dad get you out when they're all posh. They start young and
out in the field.
It was out of the field. It was in the fields around the back in Chinkford with me. That's where we was allowed to go and drink. We had bottles of ouzo and whatever we could take from the back of the drinks cabinet.
It's a generational thing. It's not a class
but we didn't.
thing.
No, it was a class thing because we didn't have some posh geezer pulling us pints, offering us brown ale, whatever we wanted. We had to snick it from the back of a cabinet, take it out half drunk already by your dad or something, you know what I mean, and drink whatever you had with your mates. But let's not go on about it. Let's talk about, so Christmas is a good time, we know it, and it is a good time, massively good time to real estate, because some really good stuff happens, and it's something I want to bring up, because it's really important, I think, and you agree, right, leading you into this. We always think that, door knocking, mail, letter writing, and all that stuff is important the whole year round. Okay, It's important to be continuously canvassing, right? This is a great time for the Dan Dictionary to get out. Stanley, I keep forgetting your name. That's my son. His name is Stanley. Sometimes I forget what he's called. But it's time to get January ready.
He looks really happy about that.
Did you miss that?
Get ready for January. Yeah.
No. January ready.
Oh, January ready.
One word.
Is that a thing, or is that a January?
It's an ancient January.
What is going on here?
No, but one of the things you can do that's really good, right, is if you are, looking at Rightmove and Zoopla and all the other platforms that are out there, and you're looking to see what, who's coming on the market, who's been on the market for a while, places that you've been to and done valuations where you haven't got it, right? That, does happen. No, stuff that isn't selling, that's sitting around a lot. We teach on the academy how to map all that out, so you've got it all set up and how to get to that. One of the great things you can do, and it's really important this happens because we're losing the art of writing letters and sending letters. And at Christmas, you can send a Christmas card, right? And a Christmas card can be a slight nudge towards a business note. And what happens when you usually, put a letter through someone's letterbox, or a leaflet goes through, leaflets are at the lowest form, right? So a leaflet's job is to live for 2 or 3 seconds from the time someone picks it up and walks to the bin and dumps it, right? That's all of its job. Its job is not to get you a lead. Its job is not to get someone to come round. Its job is just to get the attention of something, right? It's your job once the attention's been got.
Your leaflets are incredible.
It's very hard for your leaflets to be incredible, otherwise no one else would use any other medium. But unless, and that's the point, then people, you've thrown me off by saying that. God knows what you're on about now. But what I'm getting to is Christmas cards can be put in to a note, hi, blah, 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 Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you want to say. I notice you haven't sold yet. You're probably going to think, it's Christmas. There isn't a lot going on. It does get busy. Late January, it really starts to kick in again. Would it be a good time now for us to sit down and have a conversation?
Reconnect.
Is that something you feel we would benefit from? Right? And any way you want to do that. I just think that the medium of a Christmas card through the post with a stamp on it, someone's always going to, this what I call sit down post. You sit down at the dining room table with your post, right? And you open it. The crap stuff you put to the side straight away. Yeah. And they will open it and they'll look at it because it's, it's a Christmas card. Obviously spend a bit of money on them. Charity ones are always the best ones.
I think any form of non-business communication works, right? And this is the best excuse, the best time to do that.
It softens the blow and
being approached by an agent.
It softens the blow of I'm trying to do something. We spoke last week or the week before about you have to ask the question. You have to go for the kill, right, in a nice way. If someone's doing something, you're moving them and you're allowing them and helping them move to a direction they want to get. You've got to keep that momentum up. Momentum up. So I've always found, I don't know if you agree, Sol, that it's a great time to practice your handwriting, right? Get out your pen.
Use AI. I mean,
no, please don't use AI. Do you know what I mean? Try and do it. It is from you. This is a really good opportunity for you to show your personality quickly. The kind of Christmas card you're going to send is a beginning. Right, and then send that out, get a little short message in. What would you actually, it'd be interesting to know, if you was doing a Christmas card, what would be your Christmassy type of message?
Well, I would be incredibly advanced and I would get a really good artist to do a sketch in real time of the person's building with Father Christmas coming down the chimney and send it to them via a digital platform. Like we did about 10 years ago.
Okay, so
but what you're talking about words?
Yeah, I'm talking about let's talk about an agent going out there, starting out or doing whatever, and we want to keep the vendors connected, and what that means is many touch points, and the Christmas is a great opportunity for that touch point to be a card, right? I think what would you put? You've gone to the card factory or whatever, grabbed a load of cards, okay, and now what you put inside them has to be short and has to be so important. What would you say? What does your Christmas card? If you opened it up, what does it say inside?
I think it depends on whether you're doing a big mail out of Christmas cards. If you're if that's your thing, or because obviously I've always been a little bit more less number of clients, but longer relationships.
Yeah.
So I think it does depend. If you're doing a whole load of them, then don't go mad. There's no point spending £4 on a crazy card and then writing them all out But if you're dealing with should we say less than 20 people, then I think it's just really it's a good time of year, and it depends on what kind of relationship you had with them if you did go and see them and spend some time with them, but they weren't ready. Or you just disagreed you got on well, but you disagreed on price or fees or whatever. So there's a good relationship, but they just gone with another agent because they're cheaper or, were happy to bend over on the price. Then I think you can be quite personal. And I think one of the things to do, is try and get it to them early in the Christmas period. That gives you a chance. I always used to ask people, should we go out for a beer or should we just come over and bring a bottle of wine and we'll have a chat about what next year looks like in the Christmas card. And that takes it again further away from. They know what you're trying to do,
sure,
but it takes it again a little bit further away from the whole thing that we always talk about it in the academy about spending as much time as you can with someone in their own home. About before you talk about pricing and all that kind of stuff. So, I think you touched on it with the human thing there. What do I actually write? I wouldn't. I don't have a stock answer to that because I've always done the
They're all
personal
individual.
thing. I've never done what you'd call a sort of a mass amount. Where you're just writing the same thing or something.
See, I wouldn't suggest that
One thing I did
really
do,
does
actually,
a mass thing.
The touch note thing I used to work quite well.
Right.
So I'd take a picture of something Christmassy. Like, when I talked about using touch note, the app,
Yeah.
to take a picture of someone's building or house.
Yeah.
It's a bit creepy, I suppose, and then sending them a picture of their own building with a touch note thing. I think that would work well with a sort of with a Christmas vibe. It's quite it's reasonably expensive, I suppose, but getting a listing is worth spending money on.
Yeah, I mean, I've never used it. I think that one of the things that we're stopping doing is, hard letters driven in any way, through someone's letterbox. I still am a strong believer that kind of leave behind material has a massive impact.
It's tactile,
and it's on and above digital. It can be, digital's so throwaway, and digital's usable. I'm not just saying it doesn't have a use. It does. It really does as well. But I just think if someone sits down and they're going to send some letters out, for example, they're going to be canvassing people that they've just seen they're on the market, so they don't know them, right? And they're going to put Christmas cards out. You just said, be early. I'd totally be early. I put some cards out the other week because one of the things I want to know...
November?
Yeah.
That's a disgrace.
Well, hang on, what have they said? Let's have a look. Let's think about the conversation, yeah? Let's pretend it's a couple.
Yeah.
And, it's a guy and a girl, and the guy's come in, he's opened up the mail, he's got in first, and his wife comes in after. What do you think one of the conversations are going to be straight away?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
We've got...
Do you remember that nice agent, Dan? He's the first guy to send us a Christmas card.
Yeah, no, they don't know me at this point.
Oh, sorry, this is a fresh one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a fresh one.
Yeah.
So they would say, we've got our first Christmas card. Or, we've got another Christmas card. It's not yet lost in we're not going to talk about it because there's loads of Christmas cards already coming in. And at that point, it's important to be in there at that point because you've got to remember what's happening inside the home. And that's where you've got to get, you've got to direct it to go. So already sending it out, you don't know if it's their first Christmas card because it'd be creepy if you did, right? But you can guess it's kind of early, right? So you can think, right, it would have been kind of early and putting this out. So you can then say things like, hi, introduce yourself and just put something light in there.
£5 note.
£5 note would be great, hi, and put in, I can see your property's still on the market. Really like to speak to you early next year about it. If you think that's something of benefit, please do. Let's reach out. And the reason I'm talking about this, is it's a relatively cheap way of canvassing that's having an impact because you've got the cards. You can go out and spend 40, 30 quid on quite a few cards, write them out, and if they're on your patch and you're walking to it, it's not costing you loads of money actually to make that impact. And you never know. Someone may come back, they've got your card, they've got your phone number, they can come back, and then you're in. And this is what I was talking about, the leaflet. It's the card's job, the Christmas card's job, to obviously wish someone Merry Christmas, but also to get a point across or to get the phone to ring. Get the person that said, you was one of the first person to send us a Christmas card. Ha ha ha. Oh, was I really? Never would have thought that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then you're in. And then it's your job. The card at that point is there just to greet someone and stays on the mantelpiece or wherever they put it, until early
March.
Early January. But at that point, the connection's made. So now we've gone from, a letter, a Christmas card, whatever it is, leaflet, making that connection now to the phone call, right? Everything else at that point, including the leaflet, is done. The leaflet's job isn't to get there to get you a valuation. It's to get you to that point. Mm-hmm. Now it's down to the broker on the phone, how good they are at converting what someone's just said. And, like you, like me, like probably all the brokers out there, estate agents out there, whatever they're called out there, if someone phones you, your job then is to get round, and get round quick. Not put it off. So if the person says, oh, I just wanted to say thanks for the Christmas card, one of the first ones we've got, obviously it's only early December, we're going to look again in January. No. Right? Say things like, look, I love the way that you're thinking. I would really like to have a quick peek inside your property and have an idea of what I think we can do with it and what it's worth. Because what I typically do over the Christmas period is spend hours and hours and hours on my own looking at stuff and planning the future properties I want to deal with. And I want one of them future properties to be in, I want to plan for one of them future properties with you. Do you think that would be possible? How are you next Wednesday or Thursday? Yep. If you're not too busy in the Christmas period, can I come
gently
round?
force it into an action?
That's it. Move yourself forward. Never let someone fall with the contact. So the phone numbers happen, the phone numbers come on, and now you don't push it to, within 2 or 3 days you want to be in the house. Not okay.
Whatever the time.
Whatever the time.
Time kills.
Time kills deals. You've got to get in there. You've got to keep it hot. And then you've got to actually then, what you're going to do is deliver. And again, so here we go back to something else, which is really relevant again. Leave behind material. So now when you turn up, the material you're going to leave them with is probably going to be a magazine or something, about property, about stuff that they're looking to buy. Ask them, where are you looking to go? Find out properties in the area they're looking to go, and have a load of things from Zoopla or Rightmove printed out. Even if they've seen it before, doesn't matter. Look like you're making that effort, because you are making that effort. So recognise everything you do, you can break down into micro bits. And actually that's little bits of gold that's really valuable when it comes to the valuation. When it comes to walking in the front door and out with the listing or instruction, whatever you want to call it nowadays, right? Everything you do from the day you sit down with that Christmas card to write it, sitting at your table, from what you're going to do, is all about in your head. You want to be thinking about, I'm going to be in their house. I'm going to be valuing their property. Pushing yourself to think that will make the ink come out with something that's more interesting than what you would usually write, and then make sure it's short. Look at everything, get rid of everything that looks crap, make it short. What was it that Stanley, you'd know this, that Churchill said? I'm sorry the letter was so long, I didn't have much time. In other words, if there was enough time, I would have really thought about it and sent it. So that's just that's my take on that whole thing. Is it's so important, because it's such a great time to come in. Sorry, mate, but it's such a great time to come into January with stock that you valued in December.
Well, we did touch on that about that. I think I mentioned how. This was one of the years where I was feeling like I was coming. I might have said it this time last year, actually. I was feeling like I didn't have anything lined up for January because of what we were doing or going. I can't remember. Year's a long time when you're.
It is when you're 60.
When you're in your late 70s like me. But
you're not, mate. Come on, he's not 70, by the way. Right? He's late 50s. Yeah.
I'm 52 on the 1st of February.
All right, okay.
All presents
on the 1st of February.
All presents are welcome. Yes.
Yeah.
And
God, I remember your 40th. Them little in the Bear in Camberwell with the little buckets of fish and chips that had a tiny bit of fish and 2 chips in it.
I don't remember.
Sorry, no, I'm taking you off. Please go back. Not that you've done.
But the good thing about doing that, as well as the networking and doing the Christmas cards, is it does make you feel like you've got. Even if you're getting a limited response, because let's face it, it is Christmas, but at least, it doesn't, certainly for a self-employed agent, you running your own business, at least you think there's stuff going to be happening in January. You may not lock it down in December. It's a tough shout, but at least, if you've got in conversations going, stuff going out, and a little bit coming back in terms of people reacting, and even if they just say thanks so much for your card, really thoughtful. That's one thing, one extra person that you think you might be doing something for in January, and I think that's really important because that's one of my. You talk about December,
yeah,
and for a self-employed agent coming into December with all the bits that it does allow you to do, there is still nagging in the back of your mind of what does January and February look like? And for a jobbing agent, that is instructions, listings, whatever, And even at the very least, if you're sending Christmas cards or having Christmas drinks with other agents, that might lead to some form of a sub-instruction or a joint agency agreement. So all of this Christmassy kind of stuff, it should be, we're going to something in a couple of days next week or something, which is essentially an agent meet-up for a Christmas lunch. And of course we're all going to, lots of people talk about how brilliant their year has been, and a lot of them are going to talk about stuff that hasn't happened and whatever. But the most important thing about that is, apart from what have you got and what have I got and all this kind of stuff, and bragging, because agents like to brag, what can we work on together that's real? You can look someone in the whites of their eyes, not a WhatsApp group, not some spurious hotel from whatever kind of LinkedIn vibe. You can look someone in the eyes and decide whether you want to do business with that person or vice versa.
Yeah, well, we're really good at working out who we do want to deal with and not. I agree. It's a really great time. It always amazes me that agency seems to go in December, and then come sort of January, mid-January, goes, and then everyone's full of energy and, let's do this. It's kind of like people wind their pipeline down without even meaning to.
But we don't live in that world anymore. We live in a digital world. We live in a world where everyone's saying they're doing business from Ipswich to Dubai to whatever.
Are they?
Yeah, exactly. But whatever they're doing, whether they're doing it or not, that's the perception. So I don't think... I mean, also you could talk about the market here in the UK in general, but I'm not going to do that because it's Christmas and I don't want to be down on it. Yeah, so it is a digital world, and we've got guys doing business, so they say, all over the place. All different types. Letting one-bedroom flats in Chelmsford to selling £50 million hotels in the Côte d'Azur. Everyone seems to be saying they're doing that these days, which of course they're not. Only a handful of people are probably that spread out or big enough to do that kind of stuff. But I think what that means is, because of the digital world and the immediacy of getting your message out there, whether it's true or false, I don't think there's such a thing as things like Christmas lulls, Easter lulls, bank holiday lulls, whatever. You hear about people saying that Monday's the new Sunday or Thursday's the new Friday. The real world, away from the so important world of estate agency and brokerage, which, let's face it, is not that important. When it comes to the real world, I don't think it actually the meter runs in the same way that maybe traditionally people think it does. I just
see that.
I don't see it like that.
Yeah, I mean,
but maybe that's because I'm a bit wild and independent.
I think that it shuts down because we're dealing with home sellers. And home sellers shut down.
It's because they're told by the existing status quo of a estate agency, they're told to shut down.
No, it's not.
They are.
No. It's who wants people tramping round their house looking to do viewings, the month of Christmas.
Good point.
No one wants. No, hang on.
And also, we shouldn't be going around people's houses at Christmas as agents. It should shut. It should shut down physically because everyone needs a bit of time just to chill out and be with their family.
All right. Okay. And so we know that it's going to shut down, and this is the thing that's always made me excited. And I see other agents copying it, and we do live in a world where you can go everywhere. A lot of people in the world at the same time have Christmas roughly the same point, but it shuts down on moves because it's not because of the agents, it's because of the vendors and the buyers, right? They withdraw their interest in doing stuff because we'll go on in January, we'll go on in February. So this is now the best time for agents to be able to say, well, do you know what I'd really like to do is I'd like to get all the marketing done. I'd like to get all the photography done that I need, the drone shots, whatever we're doing, getting it all ready, because I want you to be one of the first when the market wakes up again. And that's traditionally the second week in, January.
Yeah.
So if you're not ready and you don't hit that market, what's going to happen then? You're going to miss out, and you're going to be caught up in a snowball of everyone else coming onto the market.
If I may,
You
Mr.
may, yes,
McPeake,
yeah.
I respectfully, I'm going to disagree with you on that. I think that's
Why?
a very traditional outlook, because I think in a market that we have in the UK right now, it doesn't matter when you go on, it's all about the price. You could go on Christmas Day when I bet you on Christmas Day, someone's going to be doing the turkey and looking at Rightmove. And if they see something that looks like it's a really great price, they're going to be more interested than whether they're the first person to see something that's, just going to be in a mess of other stuff anyway in a couple of weeks' time because it's too much money.
That's absolutely, price.
Garbage
drives
in, garbage
most,
out.
Yeah, price drives most of stuff. But it also puts loads of stuff out there, because there's more stuff out there, right? And people load stuff up because it's more expensive or they overvalue it. And we've spoke about this before. But if they are doing that, if they are just looking at their turkey, you said, and Rightmove at the same time, what you've actually, again, is got a very restricted market. So, if you've got the guy or girl that's willing to do that on a Christmas day, they're probably really serious. Once the market starts...
they're bored.
Well, hang on. Well, okay, so why have them round? Why not prepare all the marketing ready for when it is set, for when it does hit, and have it to go there?
Yep.
And that should be part of your close. If you're seeing someone from, middle of November coming onwards, it's a little bit tepid, or we're looking to do it, in the next year, right? We've heard that thousands of times. We're old enough to see it a lot of times. You're a little bit older than me, quite a lot. And we've seen that out there. One of the things we can now do is turn that around and say, look, you're happy with what I'm doing, you're happy with what I'm saying, we want to go forward, because when we started this conversation, you was interested, I'm the guy or girl for you, let's make this happen, we don't want to load it up next, but let's just get all the stuff done. What that does is like the Christmas card you're sending out. From the first day you're sitting at the table and you're writing that card out, to the day you send it to the person who sees it and turns around to their partner and goes, we've had one of the first or an early Christmas cards. It's from an estate agent, to the guy or girl that's brave enough to make that conversation with the estate agent, to the estate agent that picks that up and then turns that into a possible valuation. At that point, then turns the valuation into an instruction that's going to come on in January. That's building your marketplace, and that's what you should be doing, because that's how you become an agent through this time.
Beautiful. We're going to wrap it up there, but as it's the 1st of December, let's see where we are in a couple of weeks' time.
No
see
worries.
what this conversation looks like. Wrap it up, my friend.
Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube. Stanley's put a bit of paper there so I can see it again. I'll see you later. It's goodbye from me, and here, see you later.